your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us, 'cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, episode number 164.
That is correct.
Guess.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
164.
Very good guess.
We've got a really, really good episode for you guys today. We're going to talk about everything from the waste management. Specifically, we've got a very big Hideki Matsuyama fan here to my right.
Yeah.
David.
In fact, David represents the Hideki Matsuyama fan club.
Exactly. So we're going to be talking about his final putt and all this other stuff. We're going to be talking about the official World Golf Rankings with LIV and what that's caused and everything like that, and what our opinions are on that. And then also we're talking about someone who's a little bit controversial with the players. I
can't believe this has become a segment on the podcast.
Yeah, it's an interesting one that we're going to look at. But before we get into all that, we need to talk to you about our sponsor today, which is Saily. Now, Mick, what is Saily?
So Saily is a new eSIM service app which is brought to you by NordVPN, who also have sponsored the podcast. And basically what it does is it enables you to choose from several affordable eSIM data plans in over 200 destinations around the world, so that when you're in those places, you aren't absolutely rinsing your data in order to access your social media, to do our jobs by posting things on the internet, to watch videos. Now, David has first-hand experience of this from the last week.
Yeah, I literally touched down in Portugal. We're there for a few days, and all I said was, Mum, Dad, when we touch down in Portugal, I will message you to let... Obviously sat on the runway for hours, they're wondering what's going on, flip on my data, tell them I'm okay, and then come back and I'm being charged an arm and a leg for it. And the number of times where you don't think that you actually need it because I've got Wi-Fi or something like that. You go somewhere, you need Google Maps, or everyone's on WhatsApp. You just need some sort of way to access the internet. And if you're like me and you've got a really bad plan with your service provider, this is such a great way to actually stay in touch.
You were in America, weren't you? Yeah. I have poor experiences from data roaming in America.
Yeah, it was. So I won't say the provider. It's £12 a day.
£12 a day.
It's £12 a day if I want to use.
I think we might be on the same service provider.
So I used it for 2 days. I literally used it of those 2 days. Very minimal time. I'd probably say a couple of minutes each day. And I get charged, all that money. So this, honestly, is like I need this.
Yeah. So the Ryder Cup was my prime example of thinking, oh well, the entire time we'll have Wi-Fi because we'll be in the hotel, then we'll be in hospitality, and I won't need to use my data at all. However, we spent more time in the car traveling to and from the event than we did at the event, which meant that I watched lots of the golf on my phone using my data.
Yeah. How much did you get charged?
I got an £80 bill for the weekend that we were there, which was a large shock. But I'm happy to say that should never happen to me again, because I have Saily now. First of all, you download the app. You're at home. You're like, oh, I'm going to Portugal in a couple of days. I'll make sure I get my Saily sorted. You buy your plan. So there's multiple plans, over 200 destinations are available. And then your Saily eSIM will be automatically activated when you land in your country. So you fly into Portugal, your phone goes, hey, you're in Portugal, let's kick your Saily eSIM into action. And it does all the hard work for you. So download Saily in the App Store or by scanning the QR code, which I'll put here. It might be covering Kieran. It might be covering Kieran a little bit. But the QR code's here. Then use the code ROUGHCUT at checkout, ROUGHCUT, all one word, at checkout to get 15% off your first purchase. The details are in the description below. Thank you, Saily, for sponsoring the podcast. Let's get on to talking about LIV. So, this has been going on for, it feels like 5 years. People complaining that players on LIV haven't been getting OWGR points. When I say people, I mean players on LIV. And suddenly something has changed. These conversations have been going on for a long time, and the OWGR come out on February the 3rd, which is just under a week ago now, and they released this statement that says, we are going to give LIV players OWGR points. Everyone at LIV celebrates. Woohoo, how exciting. We're all going to be rising straight up the list. And they go, Actually, it's only for the top 10 finishers and ties in LIV Golf's individual stroke play events. Do we feel like this is enough? Do we feel like it's a first step? Do we feel like they should have been given less than they were? What's the reaction to it? And then we'll talk about Liv's reaction to it as well.
I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised that they went this far. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it, but I'm, again, very, very surprised given that they said very clearly at the start, we're happy to give Liv points, but there are hoops that you need to jump through. And to be fair, Liv have jumped through some of them, but not all of these hoops. And because of that, I thought that they would just, not roll over, not put anything through. The fact that they've made this concession is wild, because it's very easy to forget that the OWGR system, it's not a subjective, an objective, these are the best players in the world. It's a qualifying system. If you want to try and qualify for this tournament, that major, it all comes down to a point system. And that point system needs to be equally enforced everywhere. So everywhere needs to have the same rules. Everyone needs to be able to qualify for certain tours. Those tours need to be of a certain size. They need to have a cut, things like that. These are all things that LIV didn't necessarily have at the start, and they have kind of come halfway. But the fact that they've not come the full way and they've still been rewarded for that is a massive surprise. I actually think that from everything that I've seen, it seems very, very generous, the amount of points that they do get. Yeah. Because I'm not quite sure, but the winner on LIV this week, Elvis Smiley,
Elvis Smiley.
Yeah, he got 20?
23.
23.
23, yeah.
And then Patrick Reed, who's the winner on DP World Tour, similar amount.
20.
Yeah. So, again, I think given that Patrick Reed had to beat a fuller field, more players, obviously, a lot more can happen in that time. I think that's remarkable. Just
remind me, is there a cut after? Because I know obviously LIV have gone to 72 holes. Is there? My mind has gone blank a little bit. Is there a little cut?
There's no cut. So this is how LIV OWGR released this top statement here, and a bit further down they released a much longer statement, which if I can, I will try and put on the screen for you so you can read it. But basically, one of the things further down that they said was these are all the ways in which you still don't qualify for full OWGR points. One of those being the cut. You're right. Yeah. So I'm just going to read it out for you, just this little paragraph here. This includes LIV Golf's average field size of 57 for 2026 versus the minimum of 75 set out in OWGR regulations. Exclusively no-cut events. So they're listing all of the reasons why they're not getting full points. Exclusively no-cut events, the restricted pathways to join LIV Golf, with 2 spots filled from the Asian Tours International Series and 3 from a closed promotions event, which does not offset the turnover of players exiting the league. Self-selection of players, with players being recruited rather than earning their place on the tour. And in many cases, the additional removal of players from teams based on their nationality has started happening recently instead of it being based on how good they are. So the OWGR have said, yes, you can have this. However, the reason that you're not getting the thing that you want, which is full points, is because of these tick boxes that you still haven't ticked. I think one of which is definitely the cut.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Dave, in the sense of that from all of what you're saying there, what you've just read out there, Mick, and some other things that we know, I think they've got all right. Like, I think
they got a bloody good deal.
We were talking about it in the office this morning about the LIV putting out this post of the reactions of all the different players, their opinions on this news, and every single one was pretty much the same. Yeah, it's all right, it's a good start, but yeah, this is great for the league, but so they it seems like they're not happy and they want more, but
Yeah, I guess they'll probably just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, but. I mean, I think given LIV's standing at the moment, I don't think they really have much of a bargaining position regardless. I think there is some hypocrisy. I think there is definitely merit to what they're saying. If you look at Tiger's event, the Hero World Challenge, I think that's the one in the Bahamas. Yeah. But I think that's an invitation only, limited field. Again, you get invited in, but it's a PGA sanctioned event. You still get OWGR points, is my understanding. Yeah. So I think there is definitely something that's if the PGA Tour can do it, why can't we do it? So I think a bit of a concession is fine. Personally, I would just not give ranking points to that event, because that's obviously flying in the face of everything the OWGR stand for regardless. They should just kind of tighten up that side of things as opposed to kind of bending what they're supposed to be doing to like placate a bunch of guys, you know, on one specific tour.
Yeah, you can't. It's weird, isn't it? Because LIV is new and because they are trying to do things differently, that is where some of their success has come from. Is that they are the anti-PGA Tour, which is what they marketed themselves as. Well, you know, this is golf but louder. That was their thing. Like, it's the same sport, but we're doing it in such a different way that it's almost unrecognizable, which for marketing is great. But when you then start wanting the same things that the other tours have, you then have to kind of bend yourself back into the mold that OWGR want you in.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, you're golf but louder, and yes, you're the antithesis of what we watch every week, and it's quick and it's exciting and it's team-based, but if you want all the stuff that this lot have, you need to be a little bit more like this lot, which is what OWGR have said.
So the idea that you can say, but the high flyers are doing really well, and then imagine that lends itself to some sort of equivalency to what, you know, the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, like a singular tour are doing is just kind of bonkers to me. Like, if you are gonna do something remarkably different, double down on it, get further away. But like, I guess the only reason that they're not doing that is then all of the players would be like, oh, I'm never going to play a major again.
Yeah, because their exemptions will run out.
I think it is. The thing is as well that, you know, if you look at this as a plan of like over a couple of years, for LIV, this is obviously a great start. They're obviously not happy at this moment, but you know, it's a great start, and it is becoming a more credible tour. You know, I'd be interested to see what's going to happen in the next couple of years with bringing players in, keeping players. You know, will this now maybe keep John Rahm? Maybe this might keep Bryson, and bring in a couple more people. But, you know, Elvis Smiley, the PGA Tour put up a thing yesterday. It's on my phone that's recording right now. It's basically like saying that. So Elvis Smiley went from 156th to something like 78. I'm pretty sure that's not far off. And then John Rahm went from 96 to something like 63 or something like that. So, you know, these players are 77th. These players are kind of going up, and that's the main thing, is that, you know, we've been kind of chopping and changing between Data Golf and OWGR. Let's just get to a point where we're using one metric.
Data Golf.
Well, either or, you know, like, you know, just, you know, having to switch and, you know, who's the actual, you know, all this sort of stuff.
Ask Scotty who he thinks is good right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, ask the players their opinion.
So, you know, it's a start for them. Gotterup got 59 points for world ranking points for winning the Phoenix Open, so you can see that the weighting
and
there
shot
as well.
up to 5th in the world.
Exactly. So like, you can see the weighting of the PGA Tour there. So we absolutely know where the top is, apart from the majors. So yeah, it's interesting to see what happens. It is a massive win for LIV, this, but they're not treating it as a massive win at the moment.
The only thing that I'm struggling with is this a bigger win for the veterans on LIV, who like say the Lee Westwoods, who like, I don't think I'll ever play a major again. And then all of a sudden, this opportunity comes up, and it's like, okay, well,
I hadn't thought of them.
One good season, I can do this. Or is it going to be a slingshot for Michael Lasasso, or like a younger player like that? It's like, right, okay, I'm gonna risk it all. I'm gonna like come to LIV and play the best I can, get rewarded for it. And if I do play really well, I can play myself into the majors. I can play myself into relevancy that way.
Yeah,
but
while also earning loads of money.
Loads of money.
That's the other thing. So let's talk just quickly about LIV's reply to it, because obviously the OWGR put out this statement and they've said, right, this is what we're going to give you, and LIV have gone, oh, that's kind of it. Okay, but it, like you said, lots of them said this is good, but and these are the points they made. LIV said that limiting the points to only the top 10 finishers disproportionately harms players who consistently perform at a high level but finish just outside of that threshold. We'll talk about this in a second. As well as emerging talent working to establish themselves on the world stage. Precisely the players a fair and meritocratic ranking system is designed to recognise. So my argument back to that would be, if they are a hard-working,
good
talented young player get in the top 10
Yeah,
to
they'll
get some points.
Cream rises to the top.
Correct. Or when LIV's not happening, go and play on some DP World Tour events.
Yeah.
If they want to rise and they're not just there to make money and languish in the world of LIV, they can go and do all of those things. Those options are still open to them. They're just not open on your tour because your tour doesn't qualify. No other competitive tour or league in OWGR history has been subjected to such a restriction. We expect that this is merely a first step towards a structure that fully and fairly serves the players, the fans, and the future of the sport. The reason that this has never happened to anyone else is because you're the first tour to do the rules of golf completely differently to everyone else. You're the first one through the wall. The first one through the wall always gets hurt. We entered this process in good faith and will continue to advocate for a ranking system that reflects performance over affiliation. Weird. Your tour's not about performance. Your tour's about affiliation. The game deserves transparency. Cool. Tell us where your money's coming from. The fans deserve credibility. Those aren't fans. And the players deserve a system that treats them equally, apart from how much money they're getting paid.
How do you feel having got all that off your chest?
Yeah, it feels really good, actually.
Yeah. I should probably mention.
That's pretty good, that.
I don't know if you noticed, but not all of that was in the.
Some of that was added.
Some
Right?
of that may have been conjecture and opinion, but.
But it does, it's like it does reflect their frustration that they're not being treated the same as everyone else, when in fact the reason they started their tour was because they wanted it to be treated differently to everyone else.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of frustration from the players, because I reckon the players themselves will have been sold not lies, but maybe some false truths. I think, for example, when John Rahm joined, I'm pretty sure that he thought that there would have been reunification by now. And that he'd be getting his world ranking points that way because there'd be some sort of global golf tour at this point.
Yeah.
And I think the only people who really need to hold their hands up are probably Greg Norman at the very, very, very start. When they took that leap, they mentioned good faith there. Well, I'm pretty sure at this point, if OWGR said, yes, like you will get points because you fulfilled the criteria, that would have been because you've given them a different proposal.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that if you had put out your plans for the LIV Golf Tour as they currently stand, that they would say, there's no way you can do it, but you've got to do X, Y, and Z. And at no point have they done that. So I think there's definitely been some sort of weird manipulation on LIV Golf's part, and thought maybe we can buy our way into getting these points or manipulate it somehow, but it's obviously just not happened.
Do you think that in the next couple of years then with this, like that their model is going to change? You know, probably some of the things that is restricting them from doing some of these things is because they want to keep the emphasis of the team golf. They also want everyone to be starting at the same time, all these sorts of things. You know, they all start on a hole and it's all done within 4 hours. Like, do you think that we'll see their model change?
Did you watch the great question? Because that precisely is what OWGR are asking them to do.
Absolutely.
Did you watch the beginning of LIV Golf Riyadh?
I didn't, no.
Okay, so there's a couple of things to note. First of all, when I said they aren't real fans, it's because there were no fans there.
Yeah,
when they kicked off.
It's at night, isn't it?
Yeah, so that tournament specifically, there were about 20 people behind the first tee. John Rahm tees off, Bryson DeChambeau tees off. The people there weren't fans. They were all corporate.
Yeah.
They were all wearing a lanyard. They were all being paid to be there, probably.
Yeah.
The focus on the team aspect has now gone from the graphics. The graphics on the screen now don't show the teams.
That's just
how they're doing. It's a normal, as we would expect it, individual leaderboard. And they don't all tee off at the same time anymore either.
I don't know.
So they do. There is a shotgun start,
right?
But the players that everyone wants to see all tee off on one.
Okay.
So they had 2 or 3 tee times on the first hole, and the rest of them were all shotgun.
Okay.
So they had Bryson and Dustin Johnson were teeing off on one, and then when they were in the middle of the fairway hitting their approach shots, John Rahm and some other people teed off on one as well.
Okay.
So those corporate people or whoever it is who's stood behind the tee on one, they want us. They paid their millions and millions of blood money or whatever it is to go and watch their favorite golfers, and I don't want my favorite golfer to be on 4 when I'm stood here on 1. So put all the big boys on 1.
I think that the only different the only thing I'd say about that is obviously this is in Saudi and it was the fans was bad. When you do go to some other countries like Australia, for example, is the one that massively stands out. How much of clear an impact that it's had on that country. Obviously, it hasn't resonated with some other countries as much. UK, it absolutely resonates as well.
Just put your cards on the table.
Well,
you have been to a LIV.
I went to a LIV. I went to a LIV event.
And you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was good fun, and it was a cheap ticket, and it was a good laugh. It was a real different experience to what I'd ever experienced before from a golfing perspective of. People just being white. Well, kind of a little bit to what we're going to go on to with the waste management. It was a waste management event, basically.
Yes.
So every single tournament that they do, basically.
Yeah, it's a party.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's an interesting one.
So here we go. Let's get to the question that I wanted to ask you at the beginning of this podcast.
I'm excited for this one.
If they had been getting OWGR points from the beginning of LIV, the entire time, where would these LIV golfers be ranked? Okay, so John Rahm's current OWGR ranking is 97.
Yeah.
He has slipped. Where do you think he would be ranked in the world right now if they had been getting these points?
Oh, man. Data Golf has him second,
Yeah,
the second best player in the world.
I was going to go second.
But remember, Data Golf is doing it on the same system as the PGA Tour. These guys are getting less points.
Okay.
But
he's always up there.
Yeah, I'm going to go 15.
I'll go lower. I'll go 7.
11th.
Ooh.
He would be 11th in the world.
That's in between.
Yeah.
That's literally in between.
So a great average there, team.
Yeah.
Player number 2, Bryson D. Shambo. He's got 4 names. That's exciting. His official world golf ranking is 33 due to some good performances and some majors and a major win. Yeah. Where would he be ranked in the world?
You want to go first?
He can't be the same as John Rahm, but that feels pretty close. I reckon he cracks the top 10. I reckon 8th.
I was going to go 9th.
14th.
Oh wow! Okay.
So he would actually be a few places lower than John Rahm and would be outside of the top 10 as well. Let's go to one who we have just been talking about. Official world golf ranking for Patrick Reed. His current ranking is 25th. Where would he be if he had been getting these points the entire time he was on LIV?
Oh, he had a good season on LIV last year. What was he, 25th?
25th, his current official ranking.
And what would he be?
You're about to guess.
God, I thought I'd trick him.
I'll go 12.
I'll go 15.
26th. So he actually would have gone in the opposite direction. By 1.
Oh, because other players would have jumped in.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to Kieran's favourite golfer. Joint favourite with Rory, I guess. Right. Kieran's favourite golfer, Brooks Koepka. He is currently 252nd in the world. Poor results on LIV. Bad performances in the majors the last couple of years.
But
slipped down the table.
He's had a major.
But he needs to have a top 10 to get points, though.
Yeah, I'll go.
Has he had?
He's had a couple. Is this from?
Correct. The beginning of LIV.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, he's had a fair few wins. So
yeah, but the system's 2 years. So I'm going to say 200.
I'm going to say 84th. No,
112th. Okay, so the biggest winner in this new system would have been a man who brought a new meaning to the asterisks. Let me tell you about Taylor Gooch. Yeah. If he had been getting ranking points the entire time, His current position on OWGR is 1,568. If he had been getting ranking points the entire time, he would be
20th.
I don't think. Remember, fewer points.
What did you say before? 84th.
I said
84th.
84th.
He would be 128th in the
That's
world.
a jump.
So he would have jumped right up into the top
Yeah,
150 players.
That's very good.
What's the key number for majors? Like top 50. Like,
Yeah.
Top 50, yeah.
Okay.
So the players who would have got into the top 50 would have been Patrick Reed, Tyrrell Hatton, Joaquin Niemann, Bryson DeChambeau, and John Rahm.
Yeah.
So that, realistically, apart from maybe Sergio, Bubba potentially, are there any other players on here who would make a big difference to ticket sales? Brooks, maybe. Not really. Those 5 guys are the guys you want to go and see.
Yeah.
Reed, Hatton, Niemann, DeChambeau, and Rahm. And they would all be inside the top 50 if they had been getting ranking points the entire time. Niemann's a really interesting one. He's 155th in the world. He would be 16th in the world if he was getting points.
Because he had that season last year or the year before where he won all the time.
He went bananas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about going bananas as we talk about the Waste Management Phoenix Open of 2026. The winner was Chris Gotterup. Congratulations, Chris. Do up your glove. But the loser was...
Hey, there were plenty of losers.
Yeah, there were. And they were all in the crowd. We have seen some incidences of people shouting at golf tournaments. Never before... And the Waste Management has a history of it. Namely, people throwing things on the green for good reasons. Someone gets a hole in one. Joel Damon takes his shirt off.
Yeah, and Harry Higgs.
Guy jumps in the...
Yeah.
Lots of great, exciting stuff happens at the Waste Management. There's a lot of people shouting in a lot of people's backswings this year, wasn't there, David?
It's ridiculous. Like, honestly, this isn't the game I grew up watching. Back in 1901. But yeah, like it's weird that both things can be true. It felt like this year it was maybe tamer overall. I think Victor Hovland had some quotes about that, saying that everything seemed a bit better policed. I wonder if that's just around the 16th hole, because I can't remember ever, or at least within the history of this event, the crowd having such a big effect on the outcome. And I preface this by saying I am a big Hideki Matsuyama fan, and I don't feel I need to explain myself. But I mean, what was it on the last hole of regulation?
72nd hole.
Yeah. So didn't play well. Like duck hooked it left. Chopped it out, and then when he was on the green, like a blimp came over, and the shadow kind of distracted him. And then when he was about to put, someone shouted, so he had to back off. And then everyone's going, oh, and getting like, I think some of the crowd are kind of getting in the face of the person who shouted. Some of them are getting in Hideki's face because it's like the pressure getting to him. Obviously, he misses the putt, goes to the playoff. Then we get to the first hole, well, the only hole of the playoff. Hideki is ready to swing. And then at the very, very top of his backswing, and we've gone through this frame by frame to see when the noise started. A security guard, I think, drops a chair. Why is he carrying a chair but in the middle of his backswing? And like peak Tiger, my hero and your god, Hideki Matsuyama, stops in the middle of his downswing and walks away. And obviously this creates a big commotion. Hideki's trying to calm himself down like a professional that he is, but bless him, he's not been driving particularly well. And then he duck hooks it again, hits a pole holding up the rope for the spectators, and bounces backwards on itself and into the water to effectively lose the playoff. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but at some point in there, I'm sure that Hideki is at very least owed a second hole of playoff.
Yeah, does there need to be a contingency rule for like outside interference?
Yeah,
because there would be one if a tree collapsed. Like we saw at the Masters, a tree came down and they were like, oh, hold on, we'll need to, stop play and come back.
Yeah.
Does there need to be an instance where a player can say, listen, that person put me off, I now need, 10 minutes,
Yeah.
just for argument's sake.
Well, and hitting. I know we've obviously had some talk about like hitting like grandstands and stuff like that, but this time actually it's a pro, got the bad end of it. Hitting obviously not hitting the stand, but hitting the pole and like, it's
the argument we always have is that they sometimes aim at the grandstands, because
well,
they know they're going to get
I
relief.
think that's what Chris Gotterup was actually doing.
Yeah.
But
And to be honest, on that par 4, he probably could have hit it because he
Yeah.
hits the ball so bloody far.
probably it's a weird event for that kind of thing as well, because this is the event that this is a long time ago. Tiger hit it behind a rock, and I think his caddy basically said to the crowd, "Can you help us lift this rock?" And the crowd lifted this massive boulder out of the way so Tiger could hit his next shot.
Do you know that there's like a plaque of that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a plaque of. I don't know if the boulder's still there, but there's a plaque. there's a plaque of the like.
That is a nice boulder.
It's like it's very much Tiger Woods was here. Like this is where it was.
I do like that they've doubled down on it. That
Yeah.
they're not ashamed of like this is this
Because
is
that's very famous. Like that's a very famous thing.
Yeah,
I remember seeing it.
But the fact that they were like, we are proud of the fact that they leveraged the rules of golf to their own gain, because everything is a movable obstruction if you have enough people.
Yeah. Oh my
They
god.
did
I
it as
thought
well.
about that.
They did it at the guitar as well. The boulder wasn't as big, but they did a very similar
There's a
thing
pebble.
at the guitar. They had a couple of people go over. It was nowhere near as big, but they did get a couple of people to come over and move a couple of rocks.
Oh yeah, I think I might have seen that.
Yeah, but it was Matt's.
But it's been an insane tournament just in general. But this week, like especially bad for people shouting out. I mean, there was this story about the YouTuber. What's the guy's name?
His name's Jack Doherty, and he's one of those like people who lives their entire life on stream. So he's streaming his experience at the Waste Management Open live, and he finds some guy in the crowd and pays him to shout in the backswing of one of the professional golfers on the course. Quite rightly gets kicked out of the tournament, and also I think gets a lifetime ban from PGA Tour events, which I support, because if you're gonna, not only to a certain extent, I can understand the shouting if you are drunk. Like I can understand where it comes from. I still don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But in doing something like that in order to benefit yourself and to make money for your stream and to entertain your audience shows that you shouldn't have been at the golf in the first place. The people who shout out are the worst type of person, because they're trying to turn a golf event, which is about these professional golfers, into something about themselves.
Yeah.
I am an advocate for lifetime bans for people who shout almost anything at a golf tournament.
Even like a mashed potato or something like that.
Mashed potato, lifetime ban. Right? I've abandoned my child, burned at the stake. Right? Get in the hole on a par 5, hung, drawn, and quartered.
Wow. Wait. So would you? So you're tapering it depending on what they shout.
Correct.
Okay.
You've got different,
What would a Baba Booey get you?
Oh my God. Shot in a firing line.
What about a light the candle?
Oh my God, I don't like the candle either.
Give me back my son.
I've abandoned my child.
To be fair, if there's something that's shouted comfortably after impact and it's funny and original, then I'm like, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Like if it's not a major or something, I actually have a bit of a soft spot for it. But it's everyone being like, "Get in the hole!" Like Hideki hadn't hit his putt and someone shouted it. Like, how is he supposed to do it?
Yeah, it's they're making the tournament about themselves, and I do not have time for it. We came here to watch these guys compete, not to listen to you make your friends laugh.
Yeah, it was. I think most of us have seen it, and like, it was just one of those where it just wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even like, what are you trying to get out of that? Like, you're there to have a good time and stuff like that, and then you're just doing that. Also, talk. The players are also at detriment to that as well.
Yeah.
So
there's millions of dollars on the line.
Yeah.
Forget your stupid stream.
Yeah.
Forget you making some TikTok for your friends. Forget Oh, do you remember that time that Randy shouted out and ruined Hideki's round?
Yeah.
Forget all of that. They are playing for history.
Yeah.
They are playing for prestige. They are playing to feed their children. It is not about you.
Yeah.
If you think it's about you, get out of the golf tournament forever.
The frustrating thing for us as well is obviously as we're in the content creation industry, it means that the next time we go to a PGA Tour event, there's almost certainly going to be stricter conditions for what we can and can't. Because there are already lots of things that we cannot do that, you know, we think are ridiculous. But then something like this happens, it's like, this is why. It just takes one person, and he's not even there in a creator role. He's just bought a ticket and just started shouting at people, which is lunatic behavior, basically.
Yeah.
But the fact that someone like that does it means that the people who actually abide by the rules are going to get absolutely like shafted again.
Yeah, it's a question of whether the Masters has it right by saying no phones. Because and by policing things like shouting and running and, you know, obviously the Masters is pretty friggin' strict when it comes to things like that. Like not being able to walk quickly without being kicked out of the property is a little aggressive. But I really like the no phones thing. Yeah. You know, I saw it, and this is, they're going to show my age right here. I saw a clip from a festival concert in the year 2001. And what were there none of?
Phones.
People with their phones out. Everyone was enjoying the band and having a great time. And I thought to myself, wow, we have really descended from that height.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, back in your time, that was when they had periscopes.
Yeah.
And they had to bring in the periscope ban. Can you remember that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you have to lock your periscope up in a bag, and they would lock it up for you. You could still take it, but you just couldn't use it to view the concert, but you could still have it on just in case.
Yeah, but there's that it's like Kieran has no idea where we are on the book, you know.
Oh my God!
It's like, can you remember the carrier pigeons that they had as well? Yeah, the carrier pigeons. It's
no.
like people were texting their friends about carrier pigeons. Yeah. See, I'm saying this, but like, Kieran, I'm not sure if you know, periscopes used to be a genuine thing.
I don't. If I saw a photo of it, I might be able to tell you what it is. I don't.
You've seen them at golf courses. It's a mirror with a big tube with another mirror, and you look through the bottom bit, and you can see out the top bit, like in a submarine.
Oh, they're great. Yeah. They're great.
Yeah.
We used to have those before we had phones. Yeah. Before we had phones, if we wanted to send a signal to someone, right, we would light a fire, and then we would waft it, right, in the right motion in order to send a signal to someone who was a couple of towns over.
No, I completely. Okay, I didn't know.
I feel like banning phones at PGA Tour events might not be a bad move. Yeah. Because the reason those people are shouting out is because their mate is phoning it. Yeah. Like he's filming you, so that they can be like, "Oh, how funny was this?" If they remove the phones, I mean, obviously our lives are screwed because we want to be able to film the event. Yeah. But like, you know, then those type of things go away. Okay.
And some of the like purist, sorry, just one more thing about that. The purist roars are at the Masters.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like the absolute purist roars are at the Masters.
The joy of the Masters is hearing a scream go off a few fairways away, and then not knowing what it was because no one can check their phone, not knowing what it was until the scoreboard changes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to the is it Michelob Ultra?
Michelob Ultra guy.
Yeah, can you remember that when everyone was on their phones while Tiger was there? And then, like, I'm just looking at the photo now. I don't know if we'll put it on the pod or not.
Yeah, great.
Just because it's ingrained in your mind. But that guy got a brand deal off the back of, like, not having his phone out. So, could be you. Just don't shout out. Don't be bribed into shouting as well. And don't wave your phone every single time something's happening.
Do you know what it was? He didn't have Saley.
That'll be it.
So he couldn't have got his phone out in a foreign country because it would have cost him millions of pounds.
I just want to point, going off that was brilliant, by the way. But I just want to, that was brilliant. But like, I just want to talk about Hideki as well, because I watched a lot of that final round. He just wasn't himself. Like, he's just,
particularly with the driver.
I don't actually think I enjoyed watching him. Like, you know, a couple of really nice scrambling saves and par saves and stuff like that. But I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it.
It was quite enjoyable seeing, because he shot, was it 68?
Yeah.
It was a good scoring round.
No, it was.
With a bogey on the last as well, and all that pressure. And realistically, he could have gotten much worse and much better on the 17th as well, because he was like fractionally close to getting on the green and fractionally close to putting his ball in the water as well.
Yeah.
So it could have gone either way. But the way he scrambled, and at a time where basically everyone has switched to the mallet, the fact that Hideki has gained like 5 or 6 strokes on the green over the course of the week with his little blade putter is incredible. Like the fact that he's actually learned, it's like, oh, this is the weakness, and he's just worked on that is amazing. It's just obvious that he's taken that time out of his vital driver preparation that he does for a tournament as well.
Yeah, so the stats on him driving over the week are not great. He lost nearly 5 strokes to the field after hitting only 25 of 56 available fairways. And in comparison, Chris Gotterup, who won the tournament, gained 4 strokes with the driver and was the 4th in driving distance. So his average driving distance was 332 yards. Yeah. And I think actually on that last, his drive was 360.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, I'm quite salty about the whole Matsuyama thing, but Chris Gotterup went and won that tournament. He did what we all thought Scheffler was going to do.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and we were sort of saying it earlier. I actually really enjoyed watching Scotty Scheffler play on the week on that Sunday. Maybe we just need to get him to have a day off on the Thursday. Maybe start him 2-3 over par. Let him have a go. Let him chase, and then do it. Not let him run away with it, because if he'd have had his average round of 2-3 under, he's won the tournament.
Yeah,
he had the most birdies.
Can you remember? This sounds really irrelevant, but I promise. That time where they got a cheater to race against a rugby player. It was a South African fullback. Can't remember the guy's name.
I know what you're on about.
But like there were lots of caveats.
I do remember it.
Like the cheater got a massive penalty. Like was like 200 meters versus like 50 meters. I can't remember exactly what it was, and there was all this kind of thing. But again, it's like this is going to be pretty close. This is actually quite a fun thing to watch. I think they should do the same thing with Scheffler. So while everyone else starts on the first hole and plays normally, Scheffler has to play while being chased by a cheater.
Oh my God, I've got so lightheaded. I didn't know where that was going.
I think I'm blind.
We've got to do something to stop him.
Look at you. Imagine the carnage, the absolute chaos of that tournament.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, being arrested doesn't do much, so maybe just the peril of death is what we need.
He needs something. He's too bloody good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Well, David, that was
pretty good.
Unbelievably good. Excellent.
Thank you.
And we'll be clipping that as well. That's wonderful.
I thought...
You'll be seeing that on socials in a couple of days' time.
It was all right. It was nice to see him chase. But, it was nice to see him chase. I really wanted Hideki to win.
Yeah.
But
I wanted Matt Fitzpatrick to win.
Yeah.
Or Victor Hovland. Fitzpatrick finished at 13 under, Hovland 12 under, Jordan Smith, friend of the channel, 10 under, and then someone else who I said you should sell stock in, Akshay Bhatia. He finished right up the top.
Is he having a bit of a? Is he having a bit
what
of
the
a race?
hell just happened to him? He was terrible on TGL, and then he was excellent here.
Yeah, he's going to do a fist pump and dislocate his shoulder again. Just give it time.
Yeah. Siwoo was also excellent.
Yeah.
And then Scheffler was also 15 under.
Yeah, but I think it really revealed that, like, in the end, it was the dogs that got involved. It was Gotterup. When he's got a sniff of the lead, he puts his foot. He finds another gear, and it's the same with Scheffler as well. Like those guys, and Hideki, bless him. Obviously, it's hard to be like that when your driver is going every direction.
Yeah.
But obviously, he kind of faded when the light shone the brightest. And I think we've got to really consider that Chris Gotterup's going to be like a force, potentially in the majors, because this is going to be his first Masters as well, which is insane. Like the guy's won 4 times.
Yeah, he won the Scottish, didn't he?
Yeah, so.
As well.
We were having the same conversations though. Remember about Ludwig Åberg when he played in his first Masters. We were like, oh, he's already played in the Ryder Cup, a winning Ryder Cup team. He's already won on the DP World Tour. this guy is going to absolutely dominate. And then the course at Augusta shows people who they really are. So maybe, listen, Chris got her up, prove me wrong. Do up your glove.
I think that another thing as well, from watching in the day, watching the final round of a DP. I love the DP World Tour, by the way. The was the European Tour, but I love seeing the difference from the DP World Tour to the PGA Tour, and you can notice a severe difference in just like that final sort of 9 holes, how it just goes mental in the sense of everyone just is, the birdies go up, like you said, the dogs come out, all this sort of thing. Like, it's a competitive atmosphere, the PGA Tour, as is the DP World Tour, but just like the shots that are on display within that Sunday is just unbelievable and not something you see up until up in the PGA Tour, but then also with the majors as well. So
Gotterup's approach on the last, I think you had a stat about this.
So the stat is here that he, before hitting his second shot on the 18th hole, his percentage chance of winning was 0.7%. And an hour later, he was holding the trophy. So things can change and do change very, very quickly on the PGA Tour. Like you said, suddenly people go, I need to go and get some birdies now. I've got 9 holes left. In this example, Matsuyama's got 4 holes remaining. Just turns out that one of them causes him to lose the tournament.
It just goes carnage.
It's just chaotic.
People are proper, go on a chase, and it's just.
I wonder if they would. I wonder if they would see more success if they reduced the field size and brought it down to 54 holes.
Yeah. Yeah, they had trouble getting everyone round in 24 hours, didn't they? They might need to do a shotgun start.
Yeah. More music.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about something else absolutely mental, and that is Brandel Chambly.
Yeah.
Because this is what he said this week at the Waste Management Open, talking about a piece of video which the PGA Tour had prepared in preparation for the Players' Championship. They have had a production video made which advertises the Players' Championship, which is coming up at TPC Sawgrass. It has long been regarded, as the biggest tournament below the 4 majors. I think we would all agree that it holds that status. But Brandel Chambly says this: it is, in my estimation, the best major above all the other 4 major championships. Is he doing drugs, or is he just trying to get people to argue with him? Because that is mental.
He's come out with a couple of things. I mean, do you remember we said as well a couple of weeks ago about Bryson DeChambeau's views being all bots and stuff like that? Like, he's coming out with some. He does come out with some wild things. This guy.
Yeah, I think the PGA Tour, obviously they would love this to be the 5th major, and I think the exact phrasing for the production was. It's March, right? So this March, it's going to be major.
March is going to be major.
March is going to be major. That's it. So they're obviously inviting that comparison. I don't think they're ever or at least in my lifetime, I don't think they're ever going to consider the Players to be a major. Clip it. But at the same time, as long as they keep saying that, people are still going to be having the same discussion that we're having. So it's still going to be relevant. I don't think it's going to help their case, but because I don't think they really have much of a case anyways, that's the way that they can stay relevant, in much the same way that Brandel Chambly is trying to stay relevant by making stupid takes like this.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So here's the question. Say they added it to the majors, and there were now 5 majors in the men's world golf game. Where would it rank in the list amongst the current tournaments with the major title?
Oh, wow.
You see, I'm rubbing my head, but I already know where this is going, because I think of all of these events, these are the events that have the strongest personality and identity on tour. I think US Open's the hardest. The Open is obviously most historic, the Battle of the Elements. Augusta is probably the most glamorous in many ways and regal in a way. And there's the PGA Championship as well. so I would probably put it 4th in that list. I'm not necessarily going to fight about those top 3, but I do think that the PGA Championship, realistically, I'm really struggling to tell you what that's about. Like, if I were to mansplain to my girlfriend what makes the PGA Championship the PGA Championship, I'm lost. Other than saying it's about club pros, because then I'm going to have to explain what club pros are, and I don't know.
Yeah. You are exactly right. Before, obviously, it used to have the match play element of it, and that kind of had its own identity. So I would see, and we've kind of discussed this a lot, that was probably the only way I could see that having its own, having a bit more of an identity to it. But yeah, I would also put the players for sure.
I think the ranking is correct, that those three are the top three. Then I would have the players, just because of what it has become and that they host it at the same place every year. And then the PGA. I think the way to get the PGA back up into the list would be to, yes, the match play thing would really help, but I wonder if they remove the pros, and you have
the PGA pros.
Yeah, the PGA pros you get rid of, and you have to be a club pro to play in it.
Oh, right. The
okay.
PGA, like
So they get rid of the tour pros.
Tour pros, yeah.
Get rid of the tour pros, and you have to be a PGA pro to play in it.
So, so would it would be, and it would still be a major.
And it would still be a major. So what that means is that at the prestigious Florida Golf Club, at which Tiger Woods is a member, he also has to be a PGA pro or an assistant, so he can play in it.
Right. Okay. I get
So
what you're saying.
if I walk into Wentworth, I can book myself a lesson with Rory.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
They have to man the tuck shop.
Yeah.
They have to take bookings. They have to deal with members. They have to do the memberships. They have to go to the AGM. They have to do all the stuff that a normal teaching pro at a golf club would have to do if they want to qualify to play in it.
I just can't picture Brooks Koepka re-gripping a club.
Why just Brooks? Yeah. But yeah, no, you're exactly right.
I don't know what to do with this thing. I don't know what the accent was. But
It sounded like Dustin Johnson, to be honest.
I don't know.
oh my gosh! Imagine Dustin Johnson as your club pro.
Make
Like
sure
that
it fades.
face, that fade.
It's like this. Oh, you're
Where
trying to hit a fade. Whenever you hit a fade, make sure it fades.
Yeah, well, the range is over there, and then first tee's over there.
Junior, would you go back into the back room and find the Mars bars?
Okay, so we've all done a terrible American accent now. We can probably end the podcast now.
But oh no, God, I have one more point about that I was going to say, and I've now forgotten it.
About the majors.
Yeah, no, it was about.
I'd go the Open first, then I'd go Augusta, then I'd go the US Open, then I'd go the Players, and then I'd go the PGA, unless they make some drastic changes.
What was the top three? Sorry.
The Open.
Yeah.
Augusta.
Yeah. Okay.
The Masters.
Same.
And then the US Open.
Mine is. I'm swapping Masters and Open for me.
Really?
Yeah. But that's the only thing. Yeah.
Well, we'd like to know your rankings. So if you have to add the Players in as the fifth major, where would you rank them, and why? And should the PGA be removed from that list and replaced with the Players?
Yeah.
There's another one. We hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Or host the PGA Championship at TPC Sawgrass.
That's what I was going to say. Just remembered it. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sure.
It was nothing about that. But
set a cheater onto the course as well.
He's remembered.
no, it was just basically saying that, when you're talking about it's kind of gone off. It was it was in the discussion of what we were having earlier. But like the only time probably in the last couple of years that the PGA has actually had a bit of credibility was when Michael Block, was up there.
Yes. Okay. So
that's a story.
Yeah, that's the stuff that you want to see. Yeah. Maybe it's like, maybe those players get through to the final round automatically. Yeah. They get to play. You auto make the cut.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are.
Exactly. So if you can incorporate that.
Michael Block, can I win the PGA if I start 10 under par?
Yeah,
no,
I like that.
You can't, because Scotty Scheffler isn't being chased by a cheetah this week. Right, we've gone. We're done. We're over time.
Great.
We're going to see you next week. If you're a member, thank you for being a member. If you're not a member, become a member. Shout out to Saley for sponsoring this week's podcast, and we will see you in the next video. Eventually, and I'm going to make a claim now that is quite wild, eventually Peter Finch will be back on this podcast, but he is not here at the moment. So, you got to deal with us for the next couple of episodes. But I promise we will talk more about Scotty Scheffler being eaten by various animals.
Pinky promise.
Thank you, promise.
Deal? Right, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.